Hello and welcome to wellnessandworkout.com. I'm here with Wes Hauser. My name is Bryan St. Laurent. I'm a biomechanist, and today we're going to talk a little bit about form related to the squat. The proper form that's been suggested is to keep the knee behind the toe when you're performing a squat. And the reason for that, it's been suggested that there can be forces that build up in the knee that may produce injury. That, however, has not been supported in the research. An article a few years ago appearing in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research looked at precisely that question and determined that the forces in the knee were not of sufficient magnitude to cause injury. However, keeping that knee behind the toe requires someone to start to lean forward more in order to maintain their balance. And this puts the back in a little bit of a precarious situation where shearing forces, these forces that cut across the spine, can build up and potentially cause trauma to discs. So we're going to have Wes do a couple of squats using what has been prescribed as good form versus what feels natural, or more oftenly referred to as bad form. In order to help you see what's going on, we have some markers on Wes and on the bar. The first we put on the ball of the foot. We have another one on Wes's knee, one on his hip, and finally we have one on the bar. So Wes is going to use the bar to perform again one set of squats with good form, and he's going to do a second set of squats using a more natural form. Finally, we'll have Wes rack that bar and just get into the bottom position, keeping that good form, and then have him transition into what feels more comfortable to him so that you'll be able to see those differences a little bit more clearly. So without further ado, Wes, if you can go ahead and So as Wes performs this squat using good form, we'll see how he's trying to keep that knee behind the toe, and he's doing a pretty good job. However, you see he's starting to have to pitch himself forward quite a bit, and it's a little bit difficult for him to maintain his balance. Now in this condition, Wes is going to go ahead and do what feels a little bit more natural and allow those knees to move forward a little bit. And so you can see clearly that the knee is going beyond the toe, but he's a little bit more stable and not pitched forward quite so much. So Wes, you can go ahead and rack that bar for us. And now just go ahead and get into the bottom position of the squat, trying to maintain that good form. And now go ahead and transition into what feels more natural. And so you can see clearly that Wes is much more stable here, although the knees are over the toes. All right, thanks, Wes. So again, the motivation for performing this exercise with the prescribed good form has been to protect the knee, but there's really no justification for that in the scientific literature. The knee really is not at risk for being injured. On the other hand, maintaining that posture, that good form, puts your back in a little bit of a precarious position where these internal shearing forces that are cutting across the spine start to get very large and may put the spine at risk for injury. Additionally, as you saw, when Wes was maintaining that quote-unquote good form, he was much less stable than he was when he was adopting a more natural form. And that stability becomes much more important as you start to increase the load and you start carrying 100, 200, 300 or more pounds on your back. You certainly don't want to be unstable. So again, we'll hope that you'll take this information, think about it a little bit, and form your own opinions. But please feel free to contact us. My name is Bryan. You can reach me directly at bryan@sdx.com. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on wellnessandworkout.com.